Good morning, beautiful people. Fran here. Hope you're having a gorgeous start to this very hot day. Whatever you're doing, I hope it's bringing you joy. So I'm here with day 4 now of my live, speaking about my awakening work, my awakening journey, and the work that is soon to be birthed, which I'm super excited, and just this overflowing of heart and love I feel around. So in day 1, I spoke about what this work has given me and what I feel it can bring to you too. So the joy of this work, the potential of this work, of which there is so much. Day 2, I reflected on my journey and where I was when I started this work. Feelings of lostness and emptiness, and it's quite sobering actually to go back and reflect, and celebratory to feel what this work has given me, this work of coming home to myself, my embodiment, living more in the moment, living more in my heart. And then yesterday was a beautiful day of sharing about my work with people of mixed heritage, dual heritage, and people of colour, black and brown folks, which is perhaps my greatest passion at the moment, alongside my awakening work and what my awakening work underpins. So please check out any of those videos or all of those videos if you are curious to know more about my work. I'd love to hear how it touches you. And today I just felt really, really strongly to wax lyrical about love, because I'm just feeling so much of it at the moment. And it's love in relationship, love in connection with people that has just been touching me so much in these past days, these past weeks. And there comes times where I'm really potently in this appreciation of people and hearts and connecting. And there are times as well when I'm more in something, obviously, and I'm not feeling that so much. I might be in a bit of a dark night where something shadowy is working through, or there's some sludge there that needs working through. Of course, these things ebb and flow. It's not constant, but it's so gorgeous to feel it more and more of the time, this simple love for being human, for connecting with other humans, for connecting with this beautiful planet and relating with it. So I want to wax lyrical about that in this video. And I also want to start by speaking about the moment and dropping into the moment. Because what I'm trying to do in these videos is demystify this work. And I really want to make it relatable and translatable to you. So I'm really curious if the words I'm using land for you. Does it make sense to you? I absolutely love the word awakening. It just really lights me up, because for me, that's what it is. Coming home to myself in the moment, waking up to what I'm living in every moment feels so joyful. And to call it awakening feels so wonderful to me. And yet I'm aware that if you haven't been on this journey, it might feel like, well, what is that? What is she talking about? So I felt like I wanted to just talk a little bit about coming into the moment and what that gives and what that is in this work. So in one way, it's really simple, right? What's happening here right now. And on another level, it's really, really hard for us. As one of my beloved teachers says, we need to move from a continuity of thinking to a continuity of sensing. And this continuity of thinking is such a habit in our culture. We're programmed from a very early age to just be from the neck up, to be seeing the world and relating with the world through thought, through concepts, through understanding. And what we need to do to live a full, rich life, what I have found in my inquiry, is to come into the body, to come into the moment. I live much more from sensing my environment. And the mind doesn't need to get involved in that. The mind can be bypassed. Bless the mind, it can come in as a servant to the heart when we're fully in the body and we're fully in the moment. And what I've found on this journey is coming into the moment can be blissful and simple. Coming in, feeling sensuality in the body, the joy of just simply feeling the wind against your skin, the joy of catching someone's eye when you walk down the street, eating a delicious meal. All of these things, exquisite ordinariness, can be beautiful. And then there's also, when we drop into the moment, there can be pain, discomfort. When we feel an ouch, we feel shame, we feel like we've been hurt, we feel rejection. And these are the things which bounce us out into thinking and perhaps reinforce that disposition that we need a problem needs to be solved. So through this work, coming into the moment, there's the potential that we meet, all the beautiful things in the moment. And then there's the difficulty we meet, which, as I've mentioned in my previous videos, a lot of this work is about coming home and reparenting ourselves in the places where we weren't loved the way we needed to be as children, where we're wounded still, where we're not developed, we're stunted. And this work can help hold those places in love, simply as they are, and then they can unravel and unwind and start to develop and grow as we hold and care for these places in ourselves. So yeah, coming into the moment, that is really what this work is. And for me, I love the word awakening, but being here now, that's why I love the term fully alive here now, which is what I'm calling my awakening work at the moment. It may change, but I'm loving that name because that really describes what it is, just to be fully alive here now. The joy of that, the beauty of that, the realness of that. It's actually reality to live in the body. And yeah, meeting the potential and the difficulty is what this work is all about. So as I spoke about yesterday as well, the form of this work is often inquiry questions where we ask each other, and you're encouraged in pairs to ask, what's your experience right now? What's it like to be you right now? What's your direct experience right now? And using these practices, we can train ourselves and come back into a relationship with life which is more sensing based, more in the body rather than in the mind. So that was a little about my love of the moment and wanting to explain that in a way that hopefully is understandable. So please let me know if you like the term awakening too. I would love to know. I love it. But yeah, don't want to be jargony. No. Yeah. So love. Back to waxing lyrical about love. This is what this work really has led me to. Again, one of my beloved teachers said to me on a retreat, last year it was, you've now realized that the manifest quality of peace is love. And that has really been growing in my life. Now, I'm aware that that might sound woo, but basically what that means is I was resting, as we rest in the silence that we are, and that peace and that spaciousness of the absolute, we then come into form and into life, and that translates as love. And if that doesn't make any sense, it doesn't matter. Love is love is love is love. We all feel it. We all have it in our lives. And what I absolutely love is this deeper intimacy with myself, this deeper love for myself, translates as this just deeper love for everyone. And what I'm enjoying, relishing so much in my life as the fruits of this work is seeing that love is everywhere. And for example, on my run this morning, just spontaneously saying good morning to people, meeting their eye, feeling that shared hello. There's love in that. When I went to the beach yesterday, we stopped into the pub to get some water. And I had a chat with the two guys behind the bar there, and just this feeling, this opening of love. And hello, here we are. There's this joyful exchange, just in a couple of minutes. But it was so beautiful. So it can happen with everyday strangers, what a funny word, everyday fellow humans. I'm not going to use the word strangers anymore. Everyday fellow earth sharers that we are kind of moving in our lives with. And it can also happen, of course, with our friends and our beloveds. So such deeper intimacy with my friends, and it's just so beautiful. I feel like the joy of having true friendship just nourishes and satisfies me so much. And I feel that's come directly from my involvement in this work. And again, from the intimacy I've developed with myself, then translates to the intimacy I can have with another. And it's just so beautiful to relate with another with nothing left out. The love can be there, the joy can be there. If there's any difficulty in relationship, more and more that can be brought in a healthy way, which isn't reactive, which isn't seeking to hurt the other. That's a really big point, actually, and I've had a really big journey around that. Anger and life force, and when I felt rejected and hurt, my pattern initially in my life and from my early life, and I can see how it goes back historically, has been to lash out, and that causes harm. So there's a hurt there, but then I'm also creating more hurt with the way that I'm trying to bring myself to the world. This is what I was used to be like. And it's been such a journey for me to come home to, oh, okay, I'm hurt, so I need to really look after myself in that place. And then I can communicate to the other in a place that isn't going to shut them down, isn't going to pass that hurt on. And that is so key for me in my life and in this work. I mean, that feels like such a precious gift and such a precious thing that we need in these times. The buck, I feel, it just stops with me. It stops with us. I don't want to keep passing this pain on. It's got to come home in my own heart, and I feel really committed to that. And the more and more I've been committed to that, the more in my friendships I have been able to bring, when I feel the other may have hurt me slightly, bring it cleanly, find out how it is for the other person, and then we've been able to meet together in love. And that has been just an absolute blessing and a joy. And yeah, so my friendships, my relationship with my beloved partner, so exquisite and has deepened over the 10 years we've been together. We met in the work on retreat, and we've been journeying together through many, many hell realms initially, many places of early wounding where we were just coming into contact with these places and hurting each other. And now we've moved through, and now we're sharing. These days, I feel like we are sharing the fruits of so much shared inquiry. And of course there are difficulties, of course there are difficult times, and reactivities still come up. And yet there's so much love, and there's so much meeting deeply in the mystery that it quenches something deep in my soul, and I know for him too. So I wanted to wax lyrical about love and just share all this with you, as this is just one of the main things that this work has given me, and a main reason I want to offer it out into the world is love. And I wish for all of us fellow humans on this planet that love was more readily available. It's everywhere. And we're living in such polarized times, these polarized times where we're kind of segregated by ideas, and this is what we believe, this is what we believe. It's been rife over these 2 years when we've had COVID to deal with, and conspiracy theories and different views of reality. And it just feels more than ever that it's an imperative that we wake up and we remember that we are the same. And that's why I love communicating with people who are different to me. An example of this is I was in a pub recently, and there was a man who came in who was clearly quite distressed. He was smoking. He had a big transistor, that's kind of an 80s word, but he had a big radio, and he plonked it down in the middle of this busy pub garden, and he played his music really, really, really loudly next to me, and he was looking over at me, and I just looked at him. I was like, oh, could you just turn your music down a little bit, because we've come for some peace and quiet, is that okay? And he turned it down, and I could tell that he was relating with me in a way that he wanted, or he was used to negativity coming back at him. And what I really enjoyed in that moment was just treating him like I would want to be treated myself. And we had a conversation. I didn't shut down. I stood my ground. I wanted peace and quiet, right? And we had this very sweet exchange. And he came over and he gave me something at some point. I can't remember what it was now. But it's moments like that where I feel like making a connection with people that we may stay away from, like in fear, or having a conversation with someone whose views are wildly different to ours, and feeling, you know, the discomfort of that in our hearts, but still staying open to that person. I feel that that's crucial in these times. We are all in this together. We are all in this together, and it feels so important to live from that place and to have the courage to reach out into the truth of our shared humanity and be with our fellow men and women and earth sharers. So yeah, feeling so passionate about this at the moment, feeling so blessed to be offering this work, to be beginning my journey of guiding in this way. I've had many years' experience as a teacher. In fact, all of my life I feel I've been training for this period. I've been a teacher in secondary schools. I was then a teacher of adults in choirs, and my evolution of learning to hold space for people, learning to relate with people, learning to guide and to facilitate heartfully with good boundaries and all of the rest of it, it's brought me here because I want to offer this work so much to you, from my heart to yours, in love. Yeah. So I'm going to be offering a free session. Please come if you can. Saturday, 10:30 to 12 on Zoom. The link is on my Facebook wall. It would be a joy to see you there. I will be leading a short guided meditation, and then we will do a very short presence-based inquiry coming into the moment. And then there'll be an opportunity to ask questions. It's absolutely free. You're very welcome to come along and tell anyone else who you think would also be interested. So yeah, again, it's been a joy to do this, and I can see there's one person who has been watching me. Thank you so much for being with me. I can't see who you are right now. Just getting used to lives. But yeah, wishing you a blessed day, and anyone watching this on replay as well. Much love to you all. Mwah.